Welcome back, everybody, to Man versus Line, episode 10. Yes, we've already done 10 of these, and you've sat through every single one of them. We got a great show lined up for you today. We have our MVP / Heisman favorites, some hot takes for you per usual, and then we're going to get into our bets. But before I keep going, stop what you're doing right now and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We had over 120 views on the YouTube last week. We only have 33 subscribers. That is a crime. Stop this right now. Hit pause. Go to YouTube. Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at ManVLine on both, and even TikTok if you're feeling a little juicy. And let's go. I have lost my voice, as you cannot tell by the intro. It was, did a lot of screaming this week.
Yeah.
A whole lot of screaming. I tried to fight for the Vols. Vols fought, but it's just one of those games we weren't going to win, man.
I have a pressing question.
What's up?
Was there any items thrown by you or any immediate member of your family?
I've been asked this question a lot of times, so many times. In fact, so many times, I don't know how to answer it. I'm just kidding. No, I did not. But I was very amazed with some of the arms that we had in the stadium. I mean, There was stuff from, I'm not kidding. There was stuff from the top row getting thrown and like landing like midfield. Like people had cannons, and all the memes of the golf balls. Like, oh, I wonder where that golf ball came from. It has people teeing up on the top of Neil, and that's so funny. It is so funny. But no, it was. Me or my family did not partake in throwing anything. Even though I told my mom, I was like, if you guys were not here, I would be chunking shit on that field. I would be just going, and everybody acts like it's like we committed genocide or something. They're acting like it. I heard. So one of the guys I know tweeted and was like, apparently it got compared to the January 6th like insurrection on the Capitol.
What?
I'm like, wait a minute, let's flash back 2 years ago to when Ole Miss threw trash on their own floor against Tennessee and we beat them in basketball. Like, that's the best part. It was like Ben Mitz from Barstool was tweeting like, my university would never do that, something like that. And everybody's in the comments like ratioing them. Like it's great. Really is great.
Now the only problem I have with it was hard objects being thrown directly at Lane Kiffin in an attempt to hit him. Obviously, that's the only part where I'm like,
yeah. And look, I think I'm in the majority. Like, I think I'm in the minority, excuse me, that really Tennessee fans that don't really have a problem with Lane Kiffin. Probably because I was 9 years old when he was our coach, and
yeah,
I understand he's citizen of turmoil, but like me growing up, all I've ever known is that guy's a memester, and I like that guy. Like, dude, that's really it.
I mean, you can't physically, it's impossible to hate Lane Kiffin unless you're a Tennessee fan, I think. Like, I think that is the only like prerequisite to hate Lane Kiffin is, are you a Tennessee fan? Yes. Would you like to hate Lane Kiffin? And then it's just a yes or no check. And that just kind of, you send that in. It's a mail-in ballot. They miscount.
Tread lightly.
No, it's a joke. It's all jokes. No, but they, it's a mail-in ballot. You just send it in, and they open it up and they go, okay, well, he wants to hate Lane Kiffin, he doesn't, and that's how who hates.
It's like that scene in, I think it was The Little Rascals. I think there might have been something else, but they're sitting there with the clovers. I love Lane Kiffin. I love him not. Or the flowers. I love Lane Kiffin. I love him not. They're just picking the petals off one by one. That's kind of how it goes. No, but I also sound like I'm not going to compare this to anybody we know, but I mean, you can make the comparisons. I sound like a frat girl that vapes and is like the dude of the group of the females. That's what I sound like the Chuck of the group. There's girlfriend groups always have that one heavy set girl that's always just like the one with like an obnoxious laugh. Okay, maybe it's not anyone we know, but like in movies and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
I
like Butch, the
guess.
Butch character. That's what I'm going for. I think that's what I sound like right now.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
But no, I don't hate Lane Kiffin. But let me. This gets into my. We'll get into a hot takes because that's one of my hot takes. But yeah. So let's go ahead and switch it over to MVP and Heisman candidates. Derrick Henry is an absolute god,
yeah, I
and
think that's unanimous
and
across
it
the
is a
board.
crying shame that he is not even being talked about for MVP. Like the odds I looked at today, he's plus 1,400 Mal to win the MVP. Plus 1,400. I wish they had wins above replacement in football like they do in baseball because this
Oh,
guy's
dude.
wins above replacement would be like the best maybe all time. Like we are nothing without him.
I feel like it'd be
Nothing.
so much easier to calculate that for like a running back in football.
That's what I'm
Now,
saying.
what would be very interesting is a war for an offensive lineman. That would be very hard to calculate. I feel like
Speaking of
because
war
that
for
would
an
be
offensive lineman, did you see that tweet? It kind of went viral, but there was a guy on Fox Sports One. He's trying to beat Stephen A. Smith. You can clearly tell, and he was like,
yeah
"You
the
want to know?
yeah
Yeah,
yeah
you
yeah
want to know where the
yeah.
Bills didn't get it because Taylor Lewan, their starting left tackle, was out." It was like, "Hey, idiot! Did you watch the
Hey,
game? Do you know what you're talking about?"
maybe Taylor Lewan got traded midway through the game.
Midway through the game,
Midway
and
through
we
the
don't know
game.
about it.
Midway.
God, I tell you what, I almost cried for the boy when he was laying down and they started chanting Taylor, Taylor. It almost got to me because it's like you think about all the things he went through this year, like the fans like booing him earlier in the year. It's like kind of comes full circle. And obviously, I think he's going to be fine now. I don't know what his
Yeah, I gave a little
timetable
thumbs up
return.
and then a little.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it was anything serious. I think they did all that like precautionary wise. Whenever you tell them it's a
Yeah.
neck injury, they have to cart you off. Like they can't move you.
Mhm.
That's just how it is. But I think he's going to be okay, and I really hope that's like a peace offering from the fans, kind of. But I don't know how that's going to be taken. It's like, oh, you only cheer for him when he's on a stretcher on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Tennessee fans and their sports debacles.
Yeah, it's tough. So
Are we
I
just
definitely think I don't know how Lamar is favored for the MVP.
dude, I couldn't tell you.
He threw for like 142 yards last week.
How
Everybody's
much did
like,
he
oh,
rush for?
I don't
How many
know,
did
but
he
like
rush for?
I just
Yeah.
everyone knows this. If you know me, I hate Lamar Jackson. I don't hate him as a person. I think he's got a good personality. I love watching his interviews. I hate him. I don't know. He just something about him gets under my skin as a player. I just don't not a fan of the guy.
Just not a
And
fan.
it really pisses me off. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Ravens are back. Ravens are back. Ravens are back." And they looked really good this weekend. But I mean, they beat the brakes off the Chargers. Beat the brakes off of them. Let me read you Lamar stats.
If he
Lamar,
rushed for over 150 yards as well, then which I
ready?
highly doubt. Yeah.
Ready? Listen to these stat lines from the MVP. 19 out of 27, 167 yards for a 6.2 average, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions.
How much did he run for?
8 carries for 51 yards, 6-yard average.
Yeah, it's not
What
bad for
a
a quarterback. I
2
mean,
picks? Bro.
oh, and the 2 picks, no, it's not good. I mean, everything will balance out. Derrick Henry will be the MVP, and then all will be right in the world. He's on pace for what's he on pace for right now?
Derrick Henry,
I think he's on
godlike
pace.
numbers.
Yeah, he's
Like
like
breaking the rushing record.
yeah, like
Yeah.
insane.
The
I
man
picked a
hasn't
hell of
had
a
a
year to
game under
draft him.
5 the man hasn't had a game under 100 yards since week 1.
Yeah, like
Insane.
he's good, and he's had what three touchdown games.
I know he had one against Seattle.
He's had 2 for a fact. I know that
Did he
much.
have another one last week against
I think he might have. Let me check
did he have
my hold
another
up.
one
Let me
last
check.
week?
Let me check fantasy. That'll be the easiest way to do this. Oh,
Yeah.
breaking news: the Nashville
Breaking
Predators are
news.
down 1-0. That's
Dude,
not our.
they
That's not
stink
our
this
thing.
year.
Yeah,
They
they're not good.
stink. And we're not going
That's
to
not our.
talk about hockey. Speaking of hockey, let's shout out Austin. 7-1 last week. If you've tailed Austin's picks, you are up so much money right now. So much. Insanely amount.
Yeah, so that was Derrick Henry's third three rushing touchdown game of the year.
Do me a favor, Mal, and read out his yards per game.
So first game against Arizona,
58 yards,
obviously
right?
the 58 yards, 17 attempts. Then he just had another awful down week, 35 attempts for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just an awful week of rushing. Follow that up with a no touchdown game, just atrocious. 28 carries for 113 yards. How can this man be your MVP? And then he follows up a no touchdown game, only scores 1 touchdown, and only has 157 yards on 33 carries.
That's terrible,
Just
terrible,
awful.
so
And
bad.
then goes to and that I mean that was against the Jets. I mean, you could argue Derrick Henry's the reason they lost that game. So I mean, obviously, let's pump the brakes on the
Yeah,
MVP
I
talk.
was there in
Especially
person. I was at
especially the
MetLife. He looked
yeah.
terrible. He
I mean,
looked
especially the last 2
terrible.
weeks whenever he had literally not even carried the ball 30 times a game and still rushed for over 100 yards with 3 touchdowns on less than 30 carries in those 2 games. We got to pump the brakes, dude. Derrick
And
Henry is
you
not
know
an
what I
MVP
love?
caliber
Every
player.
week when they post, like, NFL rushing leaders in the comments, everybody's like, "Oh, show the yards per carry." All the Chubb stands are like, "Show the yards per carry." It's like, A, your running backs can't handle the load that Henry can. He's literally built differently than any other running back in NFL history.
Derrick
Like,
Henry,
I don't
he's
even wanna hear
just
listen, I don't wanna hear any Chubb talk. I don't wanna hear any McCaffrey talk because they can't stay healthy. They're both injured right now. I don't wanna hear any of it.
well,
Derrick
McCaffrey
Henry,
definitely.
yeah, he doesn't need to be mentioned in the same breath. And the fact that
No.
Derrick Henry is I don't play Madden. I gave up on that shit, like, this year. The fact that he is not a 99 absolutely blows my mind. What are you doing? Like,
Well,
what are you doing?
I did actually see something on Twitter where Madden said like a little speed boost with a tick up. So apparently they're going to give Derrick Henry some more speed this year
And that's something I've
in the
never
live
understood.
roster.
He's always had like a 93 speed, but the guy's only ever been hawked once in his whole career and at
Yeah.
any level once. And that was with Earl Thomas against the Ravens. And he said he was jogging because he thought he had it open. Like the man is like he almost
He's
ran
lightning
22 miles
fast.
an hour. He's insanely fast.
It's very scary when a man that big can run that fast and truck you that hard. Very scary. And the fact that the Titans are also kind of using him a little more out of the backfield this year is even more scary.
Yeah.
Just
He didn't have any. I don't think he had a reception last night, but he did get at one target. But that was just he's
yeah.
tripped. So,
I
but
mean,
no, I like
instead,
how we're incorporating him in the pass game. I think
oh yeah.
that not only like shuts some
Well, I mean,
haters up because they're like, oh, he's one dimensional. All he does is run the ball. Like
well,
shuts them up.
the reason I like what they're doing, they're not forcing it; they're taking it when it's there.
Right,
They're
right.
not
I really look.
forcing
I
the
think
ball to
our offense
Henry.
is great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, I think if we can get AJ back on track, he's not having a great year so far, but also he's been injured and sick and
Yeah.
all that. If we get him back on track and manage to keep Julio to play every other game, that's fine.
Yeah. You just need to
Julio
get
got hurt
Julio
again
on like
last
an every
night,
other week rotation.
hamstring injury. Yeah, I don't
Jeez.
know.
I mean, dude, I told you this was gonna happen.
I figured it would happen, but it's just cool to have.
I mean,
It
yeah.
is cool to say you have Julio Jones on your team. Like, let's be honest.
I mean, it's
Like, I
cool
have
and
his
silly.
jersey, and I
Yeah.
wore it week 1. We got slapped. Ain't touched it since. I
I mean,
ain't
you
touched
can't.
it
You
since.
can't.
Ain't touched. I've been wearing so here's my fit. I go Henry t-shirt jersey, Taylor Lewan official jersey on over the top.
Okay.
Yeah. Nash hat.
So, can we talk about like the little elephant in the room real quick? The Atlanta Braves, what just happened,
Oh yeah.
what just transpired.
What real quick. Heisman favorite. I got Corral plus 200. After seeing the kid in person, he's a stud.
I mean, I'm not going to pick a favorite. I'm going to tell you who the Heisman should be. It
Who?
shouldn't be a quarterback. Shouldn't be a running back. It should be Jordan Davis.
Has that ever? There's never been a defensive lineman winner,
Oh
right?
hell no.
The only
But
defensive position to win it is what? Cornerback?
I think.
And that was the
But
year Peyton got robbed, right?
I think yeah.
Woods
But
and
dude,
Beal.
like Jordan Davis, like if you just look at that man and you look at like you go back and watch his like actual. Now you want to talk about a wins above replacement for football? Holy hell, I'd love to see his. Like
He's a
it's
big dude, bro.
insane. But it's not. It's obviously it's not a favorite. Obviously, Jordan Davis probably would not win the Heisman, but he should be in New
plus
York.
100,000 on DraftKings.
He should be in New York. I feel he should be one of the finalists.
Just to say we had a D lineman there.
Yeah, I mean, in a year where the Heisman's kind of I think this would be a good year to just send a defensive lineman to New York, kind of make them feel good on the inside.
You're right. Like this is definitely this is the year we're going to slide in a defensive lineman into the Heisman ceremony,
Yeah.
and then we're going to slide in a group of 5 team into the playoff.
I mean, it's just
Cincinnati.
Okay. Here's what I want to talk about before the brace. Has college football reset as a whole?
I think it has. I think we really did hit. I think the talent pool that has left this past year to go to the NFL
Yes.
is so substantial. We've hit like a
We've
hard
hit
reset
a
button.
hard reset.
Everything
Now
you thought you knew about college football and the power rankings and tiers, throw it out the window. Besides Georgia's still good. Throw
yeah,
it out the window. Everything has changed this year,
I
and
think
it's
we've hit a
awesome.
hard reset.
It
Yeah, I
sucks
think we've
for
hit
a gambler, but it's awesome to watch.
I think we've hit a complete hard reset in college football. Now the last time we hit a hard reset in college football was '08, whenever Saban got hired on at Alabama.
That was a hard reset for sure.
Very hard to reset because that started the SEC dominance, I would say.
Yeah.
That is what really started the dominance of the SEC. Not to say the SEC hadn't been dominant, it's just
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's
really
not
look
like
at
we
the
won the
dominance.
first not like
I
we've
mean,
won the first BCS national
yeah.
championship. Tennessee.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at like you look at Florida and all that before the, like you look at all that, but Saban when he went to Alabama, that truly started just the SEC being as a whole better than
He
everyone.
changed college football
He
forever.
did.
Like,
Now,
yeah.
follow-up question: since college
Yes.
football is reset, does that mean
Let me hear
that
it.
you're looking at a new dynasty in college football?
I don't know. And the answer is because here's my reason. And we're talking about Georgia if you don't know.
Yes.
Me and Mal have a little telekinetic thing that we
Yes.
just really don't say things sometimes, but we're talking about Georgia. My answer is no, or I don't know, because you guys have had the talent to have a dynasty for a few years now.
But we've always been overshadowed by Alabama's dynasty.
Yes.
And Alabama,
Which, I mean, your logic makes sense. Your logic
Yeah.
is now that Bama is out of the way, push,
I don't want to
get
say
moved.
I don't want to say they're out of the way.
Not out of the
I
way,
do
but
want to say that
at the
their
top.
talent pool has gone down. They're going to still recruit at a high level. Obviously, it's fucking Alabama. Excuse my language, but it's Alabama. They're going to recruit at a high level. But it just almost seems like if Georgia wins a national championship this year, look, and I'm going to kind of segue this since we've already given our highs. I'm going to kind of segue this into what just happened with the Braves and what I've been talking about with our entire friend group. Do you believe in jinxes, curses, anything like that? They're fun to talk about. They're fun to debate. But do you genuinely believe that the state of Georgia is cursed?
Maybe, maybe.
So
I felt really confident going into like fifth inning tonight in the Braves game, and then when we started talking about like, oh, Braves versus Boston, like
we've been talking about that. We've been talking about that
I
since game
knew
one,
as
though.
soon as
We've
Bellinger hit that 3-run home run,
oh yeah, but I also want to say this: is a curse real, or do we give the curse power? Is a curse real? Is a
we
curse
have to
just a
denounce
mindset?
this curse.
Exactly. So
We need to get like a guy to walk into the Capitol building of Georgia, or maybe all the major pro and Georgia Stadium, and like cleanse it with the holy water and whatever the flowers or incense he burns.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
But I mean, here's my thing: a curse, a jinx, none of that. If you genuinely believe, there's a saying: you can't tempt fate for a reason. Fate is fate for a reason. Everything is predetermined, whether we like it or not, and whether it's up to you who you think it's predetermined by. But everything is predetermined. Not to say we can't alter our future and make decisions for ourselves. We're getting to a philosophical little man versus line now, but it's going to tie back into sports. But the fact that you can sit here and say Georgia as a state is cursed in sports and anything like that, it's just not true. It's genuinely not true. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to use as a scapegoat, but that's all a jinx. That's all this curse, quote unquote, curse
I feel
is.
like I should be writing this down on like a stone tablet. I feel like I'm listening to Socrates right now. Like this is some brilliant stuff, man.
All this is a scapegoat for Georgia fans to pass the blame on. When I say Georgia fans, I mean Georgia sports fans as a whole, whether that be the Falcons 28-3, whether that be the Braves 3-1 last year, whether that be Georgia, what was it, 23 to 21 to 3? Yeah, I think it was 21-3. I just want to forget about that. But all it is
28,
20. No, it was that was the Falcons. Georgia was
Oh
21-3.
yeah.
All it is something we use to pass the blame on and not look in the eyes and say, well, you know what, that national championship loss was on Kirby.
So it's time. You're saying it's time to look in the mirror.
I'm saying it's time to look in the mirror as Georgia sports fans and stop blaming a curse and stop saying, "Oh, you jinxed this," or "Oh, you did this. That's why we lost." Because these scapegoats, we're giving these curses power. The more we give them power, and if
It's
you
like the
think
movie It. It's like the movie It. Yeah.
we're giving it power, and dude, obviously it's in everybody's heads, and it's a
We just
monkey.
gotta we
It's
have
a
to back
monkey.
it
It's
into
a
a corner.
monkey that's been on our backs.
We gotta
Okay.
back it into a corner, call it a lame little idiot loser,
Yes.
and it'll go away. It'll cry itself to sleep.
And with everybody freaking out about this Braves game that we just blew, we blew this game. There is no
Thanks, Luke
doubt in my mind.
Jackson.
It is even that. That ball that Cody Bellinger hit was above the letters.
It was at his
That
nips, bro.
was
It was at his nips.
that was no, it was above the letters, dude. If you go back and watch that, there is no logical reason Cody Bellinger should have hit that ball out of play
Fate.
for a home run. There's no logical reason that should have
Fate.
happened. Cody Bellinger is just that good. Luke Jackson did not make a bad pitch. Luke Jackson made a good pitch. Okay. Cody Bellinger was insanely late on the first fastball he threw. And guess what? That was in the zone. So Luke Jackson goes, well, let me just go above the letters, see if we can get him chasing. And out of some miracle of God, Cody Bellinger rears back. He was guessing fastball, obviously, but there's no logical way, even if you're guessing fastball, that you should be able to pull your hands up like that and pull that ball. And obviously, Cody Bellinger is one of the best players in the world. So, I mean, there is a logical way he should do it.
Not this year. He had a terrible year.
No, in general, Cody Bellinger is one of
Yes.
the best players in the world.
Yes.
Look,
He
it doesn't matter.
plays
It doesn't
professionally.
matter if you're having a
Yes,
down
at the
year
highest
or
level.
not. So, yes, Cody Bellinger should have hit that home run, right? It makes logical sense for him to do it, but it doesn't make any logical sense at the same time because it was not a bad pitch. You cannot put that on Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson made a good pitch. He put that pitch where that pitch was supposed to go. If he would have missed his spot, center cut down the middle, and Cody Bellinger hit it out, then we could blame Luke Jackson. But I don't want to sit here and hear Luke Jackson hate because that man's had a hell of a year.
You just said we had to look ourselves in the eyes and don't give fate power. So how did it, why was he able to hit that home run? Was it fate, the curse? What?
I mean, it was just nothing. He made a hell of a play. He made a hell of a play. He pulled.
See, I like where this is trending, right? It is what it is.
It is what it is. And as a Braves fan, if you want to sit there and say, "Oh, we're cursed, we're going to lose this series," good for you. But here's what I've seen: I've seen a 500 team battle through the All-Star break that literally could not scrape above 500. I saw that team make the playoffs.
No Acuna, no
Ozuna, no
Soroka.
no Soroka. I saw that Braves team that was below 500 for most of this year scratch, claw, battle, fight, and make the playoffs. I saw that same Braves team go against one of the best rotations in baseball.
The best.
One of the best. You can argue. Y'all can debate
That's
that,
true.
whatever.
Yeah.
And come out and pitch better than them. Their bats didn't win that series for them.
Not only pitch them under the table, do enough offensively.
To
scrape together some
Guess
wins.
what? They found a way
to win.
And guess what? We were down 0-1 in that series. Holy crap, guys. Well, when you look at it like that, we're still up 2-1 in this series. We have 2 more games in Los Angeles, right? And even if we somehow get swept, we get to come back home and we have Ian Anderson and Charlie Morton on the mound against, I think it'd be Scherzer and Buehler. Because I don't care what anybody says, I don't think they're going to waste Scherzer on short rest in a game 5 in LA. I just don't think they'll do it.
No.
Because I just don't think they do that. That would be absolutely idiotic. But the Braves will take one of these games in Los Angeles. And if they don't, I'll be a little worried. If we go back into Atlanta down a game, I'll be a little worried.
I will say this for our Red Sox fans out there. Astros are not going to win another game. They're mentally done.
What is
they are
score?
mentally done.
What is a score?
Oh yeah, they're playing right now.
Let's
I think they're mentally done.
Beep, beep, boop, boop.
Calculating
2-1 in the top of the 5th.
2-1 Sox.
Top of the 5th.
To the overbetters.
But,
yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of my spill on the Braves right now. Look, if you are sitting here saying that we're done in or anything like that, or if you're sitting here blaming, the curse is coming back, then you obviously haven't been watching the same team I've been watching all year, and you obviously don't believe in this team the way that I believe in this team. And you know what? It might come back and bite me in the ass, and you know what? The Braves might lose this series.
I'm bought in. I'll say it. I'm bought in.
But
look, It's like we said, if they win game 5,
If all we have to do, game 5 will most likely be a bullpen game. They will most likely start an opener. They will have a reliever come in. They're throwing your eyes tomorrow.
Urias tomorrow, right?
They're throwing your eyes tomorrow. So they're going to have somebody come in, eat a bulk of the innings in game 5 because they're not going to throw Scherzer. And if they do, God bless them, because I don't know who the hell they're going to throw in game 6.
Right.
Unless game 6 is a decisive game and they have to throw Buehler.
Right.
So
even then, he didn't do too hot
even
tonight.
then, he didn't do too hot tonight. So kind of, I guess what I'm saying is, Braves, we're in a good position here. All right? We're in a great position.
Thank you.
Don't get down. Keep your heads up, boys. We're going to be fine.
I feel like I just listened to the halftime speech. If
baseball
had halftimes, that was a halftime speech.
I mean, it's game 3. We can call this. We can call it a halftime speech. So game 3 is 7. Yeah. It's a little halftime speech.
Halfway to the game tomorrow. Speech. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. But let's go and kick it over to our next segment, hot takes. All right. So my first hot take. We talked about it a little bit earlier, the Tennessee situation. Vols fans were justified. We were justified in what we did. Okay? Not we, because I didn't do it. There was probably 2% of fans actually threw stuff. Most of those being students. But listen, being in the stadium, obviously the strip sack we returned for a touchdown got called back, right? I have no clue how that wasn't a fumble and a touchdown our way. I have no clue. That builds up some frustration. 2, every single third down or fourth down where we thought we had him stopped, Matt Corral breaks out of the pocket and scrambles for a first. Every single one. The guy had like almost 200 yards rushing. Every single one. We couldn't stop it. That builds frustration. And then when we think we have a chance to win the game, it's 4th and like I thought we were screwed. We probably were screwed. It's like 4th and like 20 something or 17 or something. So this is the play that caused all this. Throw it to tight end, he goes vertical. Well, what we see on the Jumbotron is his arm across the 40-yard line, which was the line to gain. We had no idea the ball was in the left hand. Maybe if they would have showed us the other angle and showed us he was short, but I get it's a home game. You don't want to do that. We would have been fine. From our viewpoint, we got cheated flat out. And so you know what? If we can't win the game, y'all can't finish it. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody starts chucking stuff. I mean, yeah. We need to go send some scouts into the student section. And they actually made the student section leave. They kicked out the student section.
Good Lord.
Yeah, which is insane. But
I mean, the game was
I think it's not as bad as everybody made it seem. Being there was different. Obviously, I've never seen anything like that in my 21 years of watching football. But it was kind of electric. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a recruit, I'd be like, okay, these fans they got our back, bro. Going gets tough. They're gonna be fighting for us.
So how do you feel about the gimmicks?
What gimmicks? Lane Kiffin gimmicks?
The Tennessee gimmicks, bro. The light show, all the fireworks show.
It was cool. It was really cool. I've been to Neyland so many times, and it's always the same experience over and over. But now that they're adding some cool stuff, and I will say, you probably couldn't hear it on TV, Mal. In the fourth quarter, on a third down, they played third down for what? And that place erupted. That's probably the loudest I've ever heard it. And I was at the Oklahoma game in 2015 that set like the decibel record at Neyland, whatever. Erupted. Everybody was going nuts, and it was awesome. I don't know. I had a really good time. It was good to be back in Knoxville. Game didn't go how you wanted it to, but at the end of the day, still an awesome place, an awesome stadium, awesome environment.
Hey, and y'all might have a chance. We're going to be in Knoxville, I think, for the Georgia-Tennessee game, maybe.
I have no clue.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. We might be there.
It's a hard maybe.
It is a hard maybe.
No, but my hot take, I might just use that last little thing. Braves are fine. There's no such thing as curses or jinxes or anything like that. Yeah. Well, that is my hot take. There's no such thing as a curse. There's no such thing as a jinx. Fate is fate. It's going to happen no matter what we do, no matter what we say. It's bound to happen. So that is my hot take, because some people don't agree with that. And if you don't, quite frankly, you're kind of dumb. You're kind of dumb.
That's fair. It's hot takes for a reason. Mine is not sports related, kind of a story. But mine is that Manhattan or New York, homeless people are not real people. They have to be like characters. Like they have to be like a simulation. It's some of the stuff I've seen in Manhattan. I'm like, there's no way that's a real person. Like, they have to be like, what do they call them now? If like a CPU, like,
An
like there's no
NPC,
way that's
an
a
NPC,
piece NPC.
NPC,
There's no way
non-playable
that's a real
character.
person living that life. There's no way. So let me tell you the story. So me and Lacey went to a Barstool comedy show in Manhattan, and we were taking the 6 train back to Bleecker Street. Shout out John's Bleecker Street.
Best pizza ever.
And best pizza in the world. And on the train, we walk in the subway car, and there's these 2 old people behind us, probably like 85 years old. Of course, they had the mask on and everything. You have to have a mask on there. So they sit down across from this guy. It's an Asian man and a wife beater, no shoes, and jorts, right?
Nice.
He's bald too. And so he's sitting there just like looking at the ground. Nothing's really happening. And he has a pink and blue, like girly pink, baby blue bike next to him, like a woven basket on the front, right? And this guy pulls out a cigarette. And of course, the older people in front of him, the guy was like, hey, no smoking on here, no smoking. This man, I kid you not, proceeds to light this cigarette up, look this guy dead in the eye, and take a huge pull right in his face and breathe it out. So he's chiefing the cig for a little bit, and he reaches into his pink and baby blue bike basket and pulls out a Twilight book. So he sits there, puts the Twilight book in his lap, crosses his legs, and is chiefing a cigarette, reading Twilight. It's just the most amazing thing ever. I don't know. It's like I saw that and I was like, oh
I mean,
my God.
I just feel like that's New York. I mean, I've only been
It
there
is.
once, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. I mean, how do
I
you?
literally had to control myself from laughing so hard when he chiefed in that old man's face. That is one of the biggest like IRL memes I've ever seen in my life. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And I was just like, there's no way these are real people. Yeah,
They're definitely real
they're,
people.
they're real people, but I'm saying some of the things they do, you're like, oh my God, that's
I mean, dude,
incredible.
I saw this thing on I think it was Twitter, and it was this video, right? And it was like literally kind of along the lines of what you said. It was like anybody you don't have a close relationship with is just an NPC in this world, and you can say whatever you want to them. And it was a video. This guy like he wasn't filming. He's just like kind of holding his phone in his hand, like filled in front facing camera. He like walks in. He's
Yeah.
like walks in just like random business. He's like, hey, I'm dropping off postcards or something like that. The guy's like, oh, okay. And he's like, have a happy Wednesday, good night. And the guy's like, and it's obviously like morning, and the guy's like, all right, good night.
It's like
And he walks
it's
out. And
like on
he's like, he
Skyrim.
walks out, and he's like, it's Friday, and it's like 10 a.m. in the morning.
It's like when you walk into like a hostel or like a hotel. I don't know what to call it back
Mhm.
then, a hostel or something. In Skyrim, they're like evening traveler, and it's like morning. You're like, and it's like, would you like a cup of this soup and all this stuff? Like, yeah, people.
It's just
I have seen some things that made me think, like, is this real life?
yeah, look,
But yeah, so that was my hot take that
maybe
New
you
York
know
homeless
what,
people are
you know
NPCs.
what, maybe there is no such thing as curse, but maybe if we are living in a simulation, maybe our supreme simulator dude, whatever, just hates us for some reason.
Maybe he simulates the whole season, and Georgia's always the number one in the thing. And then whenever like the playoff comes around or the national championship, he's like, all right, I'm actually going to play these games because they're important. He just beats the shit.
Oh, hold up, idea. So
We're just living in an NCAA
what if
simulation.
no, what if what if our world is just a simulated version of another outside world, right? And the guy
Okay,
that is running the simulation is like from Tennessee and like is a Tennessee fan.
he just wants to give y'all pain.
He just wants to give us
Well, that
pain.
wouldn't make sense because we would win all the time. We
Well, yeah,
don't
but
win.
he's got to make sure that like
It's
Tennessee
got to be somewhere that has no chance of winning, but
but
still
like
hates
hates
Georgia.
us. Hmm.
Who would that be? Vanderbilt.
Nah, Vanderbilt doesn't hate anybody. They just suck and they know it.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
I don't know who it would be.
Florida, maybe.
they actually have won some. Maybe he's just dropped a
'Cause,
couple
like,
natties
yeah,
there, and he's probably like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we had a serial killer on our team along with the most Christian player
yeah,
ever? That'd be hilarious."
dude, it has to.
Yeah.
It has to be. Maybe
Oh,
that's
Urban
maybe that's
Meyer,
what this
let's make
is.
him fake a heart attack.
And if he is from Florida, maybe he's not like a big college sports fan.
Maybe
Maybe
he's a
maybe
Tampa
he's a
Bay
Tampa
fan, and he's
Bay
not a
fan.
Jags fan.
That
And
would
he's like, "Would it be
explain.
funny if the coach that faked the heart attack at Florida ended up being the Jacksonville Jaguars coach, and he cheats on his wife in a bar and gets started on by a
Maybe
16-year-old with his
maybe
big
maybe
picture of him and his wife on the bar wall? Like, wouldn't that be
we
hilarious?
we may be onto something here. I'm just saying.
I think we just cracked the
I think
code.
we
I'm
might have
gonna
just
be
cracked the
honest.
code.
I think we just cracked the
Whoever is
code.
running our simulation is from Tampa, Florida, and doesn't really like college football, but just hates the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
So he hates us. He makes all of us
He's
lose.
simulating them, and when he sees, like, "Oh, they're actually good," he's like, "Oh, these guys again. I gotta put them down. Let me unpause here. Stop simulating.
No, I
Play
think I
these
think I,
games."
th- I think I think anytime he sees we're good, he stops simulating and makes sure we win up until it comes time for us to need to win,
Just to cause more pain.
just to cause more pain. So I think that's the I think I've cracked the case here. Um, and I think that might be why we're having some down weeks in gambling. The guy doesn't like us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
I think it's like
I
I
think
think we
it's
cracked the
yeah.
code.
I
I
think
think
it's
that's
done.
it. But
That has to be it.
that was absolutely electric conversation. I
Yes,
literally think we just broke the matrix. Like,
we need to get
I'm
Elon
about to
Musk. We need to get Elon
I'm about
Musk
to
on that
rub
one.
yeah, I'm about to rub my eyes and start seeing lines of code everywhere is what's gonna happen. Um,
See what Joe Rogan has to
no,
say about that one.
Joe Rogan podcast, yeah. Uh, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
We figured it out.
It makes
Wow.
sense.
If you listen to this, welcome to you just took the red pill.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome to it.
Welcome. You see the world as it is now. No, let's go ahead and get to our bets of the week.
Should we do a little recapping?
Yeah, let's recap here. So Mal, rough week for you. 4 and 5. Right? 4 and 5. I get that right?
Yeah, it was
4 and 5.
So, George, can we talk about how much of a piece of ever living dog beep Bob Stoops is?
He's definitely a gambler.
He
He knew what the
is
spread was.
he is one of those guys 100% knew what the spread was, and he's a piece of shit for that.
Mark Stoops, if you're listening to
or
this,
yeah, Mark Stoops, not Bob Stoops.
is it no?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, there's a Bob Stoops too.
One of the
isn't there?
Stoops. One of the Stoops. Whoever you
What?
are that's coaches Kentucky. If
Which,
you're listening to this show, I want you to know we're very displeased with you.
I mean, I'm just like, not only that, but man, the over didn't hit either. It was just a bad week. Because I mean, like I said last week, riding the
Do you just
hot
want me
hand.
to rattle through 'em?
Yeah,
Michigan State -4.5. We both had that.
lock.
It was a great pick. We just talked about it. UGA -23.5. One of the Stoops. We hate you. Over 58.5 or under 58.5. Florida versus LSU.
That was just a
Yeah,
just a
over
bad.
51.5 in the Michigan State game. Didn't hit. You had OU -11.5.
That was my
That was
lock.
your lock of the week. That hit. Good call on that one. Bama -17.5. They won by 40. I mean, bounce back week for Saban. We all knew that was coming. Over 44.5 UGA versus UK. Here's the thing. I hit every single teaser except for I can't remember. There's one game that really screwed me, but I hit every single one, both on NFL and college, and I did a same game parlay, and Tua screwed me. I posted that on Twitter, by the way. So I had the over in the Georgia game, didn't hit. Michigan State -4.5. That was a lock. South Carolina -18.5 was my lock. Bro.
I told you not to touch that.
Bro. It's Vandy. Bro.
I told
They almost
you.
lost to UConn. Bro. Like, you did tell me, but like, dude, South Carolina should win that game by 21
Bro,
plus.
they're a dumpster fire. Like when
They
you're
are dumpster
when
fire,
you
but
no, when
Vandy's
you
like
yeah, but when you're literally
a
comparing
dumpster
South Carolina
baby.
and Vandy, and I'm a prom night dumpster baby. Actually, I don't know if we can sing that, so
No copyright.
no copyrights. But yeah, I mean, it's Vanderbilt would be considered a prom night dumpster baby, yes. That is really the most messed up thing I think I've ever seen from Family Guy in my entire life. Just so y'all
Yeah.
know, I do not endorse.
Yeah,
that.
we didn't create that.
We didn't create
Yeah,
that.
we didn't
By the
create
way,
that. We're not that sick.
We're not. Yeah. Uh, we just had to clear the air there.
Jesus.
But yeah, no. South Carolina is also a dumpster fire. I mean, dude, you can't.
Yeah, they're bad. Oh well, whatever. Alabama Miss 18.5, easy money again. Tennessee versus Ole Miss under 81. Give it to me. Tennessee has somewhat of a defense. I'll take it. I'll take it. So college football record for me through week 7, 29-37 was 43%. NFL 17-14 at 54%. Mal's college football record is 42-33 and 1 at 55%, and NFL is 3 for 4 at 42%.
Hey, we're holding steady. We went 4-4 this
holding
week.
Steady. Both of our locks record through week 7 is 5-4 for 55%.
Okay.
Yep.
How about them Bucks though? Them Bucks absolutely screwed me royally.
Well, we should have saw this coming out because the Bucks haven't covered a primetime game in their last 10 games.
Tom Brady hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should. I mean that was just I missed that stat, but at the same time,
slipped under the radar. Whoops.
At the same time, there's no excuse for that one.
There's no excuse. No excuse. So total records through week 7. I'm at 46-51 at 47%. Mal's at 45-37-1 at 54%. I'm at 47. Did I say 54?
I don't.
I'm at 47%. You're at 54%. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I'm going to be honest. I don't have a lock this week, so
you don't.
I'm going to ask Siri right now. Give me a random number 1 through 10, and that's going to be my lock. Okay. Hey Siri, give me a random number 1 through 10. 6. I love it. There it is for proof. I don't know if you can see that.
It is
6. It is 6. So that's I got my lock. I love it.
Wrong.
I'm happy with that one.
I am going to say this. College football slate this week, god awful.
Terrible, dude. Terrible. It took me a good hour and a half to make this card. I just could not find anything I liked.
I am split 6-4 this week. 4 college football picks, 6 NFL picks.
I love it. Yeah, I'm 5-5 again this week. I like going 5-5 because if I have it's so easy to go positive because I know what I have to get on the second day. Stay positive.
I could have thrown a bunch of college football picks to the wall and just hope they stuck, but that's not how I want to roll. I want to actually try to make good quality picks. So that's what we're gonna do. And you know what we're starting out with in college football? I hate to do this to you guys. But
oh my god!
If there's
I already know.
If there's anything we can say, they tripped up, they stumbled, they slipped, they fell. But Alabama is still Alabama. Let's be honest here. I know we had all the talk about a new dynasty, yada yada. Alabama's still gonna Alabama. They just beat the absolute dog hell out of the dogs, the fake dogs, but the dogs, those pieces of shit over at Mississippi State that claim that they're. I don't know what the hell they claim. Screw them. But
Dak Prescott.
Okay. But yeah, no. The Mississippi State can go screw one. Alabama's minus 24.5 against Tennessee in Tuscaloosa. Dude, there's no. I don't see y'all covering that one, but
that's fun. That's fun. That's okay. There's not going to be any grudges held there, brother. So my first pick is Wisconsin versus Purdue over 39.5. Said it last week. I'll say it again. I'm a sucker for these 39.5 games. I love them. I'm just a whore for them. So I'm taking Wisconsin versus Purdue over 39.5. I think it'll be a pretty good game. Purdue didn't look too shabby. Purdue's at home again this week. I like it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go and give out my lock. No.
No. Don't give out your lock. Don't give out your lock.
So my next pick.
Gotta have some weight to it, some importance.
We're going back to a dumpster fire here. Playing on the road in Pittsburgh. Give me Pitt.
Oh my god!
3. Give me
Woo!
Pitt.
I got it too.
Pitt -3 against
Pitt -3. This game for Pitt is their national coming out party.
Dude.
Hello, we're contenders in the ACC. We just whipped Clemson's ass.
Well,
3.5 was so easy.
To be fair, I think Georgia Southern could probably go in the ACC and contend this year. And they fired their head coach. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Pittsburgh anything like amazing, but
I mean, yeah, they can contend this
year. Clemson, the game works out perfectly for Pitt. Clemson's defense, not great. Clemson's offense, not great. Pitt's defense, pretty
Pretty
good.
good.
Pitt's offense,
Pretty
pretty
good.
good. Quarterback's a stud. Kenny
Oh,
Pickett
yeah.
can sling it. Pittsburgh 3.5. It's plus 104 too on FanDuel. Plus
Yeah.
104. Give it to me every day of the week,
Yeah, no,
please.
Pitt -3. I really like them.
You have a chance to make some real money on this game.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
real money on this game.
And that's one that I feel like that should have been more like 6.5.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. It really after
Oh,
seeing Clemson play Syracuse last week, yeah, it should be.
beep, 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 beep. Hey,
Breaking
I
news.
know we're not talking about hockey, but Preds 2, LA 1. Hey,
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 got to be in LA and something tonight.
hey.
So my second pick, give me the Terrapins
Okay.
of Maryland, plus 4.5, going into Minnesota. This is Minnesota's welcome back to earth game. Yeah, you had a great week last week, but guess what? Doesn't matter. You still got to contend week in and week out. I don't care if they're in Minnesota. I don't care if the boat's been patched up. Guess what? They're hitting more rocks. Terrapins plus 4.5.
I can't bet against our boy PJ Fleck, and that's just
Look, we'll ride with PJ, but I gave up on him after week 1.
yeah.
So
I mean, I just if I'm looking at these two games right here, what team did we just get done talking about as an absolute dumpster fire? South Carolina. Who are they playing this week? None other than Texas A&M, who is still riding high. Thought they might have a letdown week against Missouri in a 12 o'clock game. No, they beat them by like 40. Yeah, the Calzone is back. Calzone is back at home playing South Carolina, and they're only a 21-point favorite in this game. Nah, yeah, it's time for the Calzone to get back to work. Texas A&M wins this game by 35 plus.
I like that, and I also have a pick for that game. I didn't touch the spread, because I'm still kind of waiting on the letdown week. So I don't know, but I like that pick. It's a good pick. I saw this number and I was like, so I'm taking Texas A&M versus South Carolina over 44.5. It's like you said. I think Texas A&M whoops them. I think South Carolina at least they've been in kind of a scoring like drought. They'll at least put they're good for like 14 or 10 a game though, right?
I mean, they put up,
and I think Texas A&M is going to score more than 35.
Yeah, I mean, they
so
put up
my math
10
there
against Georgia. So, I mean, the over should hit, but if South Carolina doesn't score, I wouldn't be shocked.
If they get shut out,
If they get shut out,
no, I wouldn't either. But like, it's like one of those like 44.5 for an SEC game.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And I mean, I only have one more pick for college football, and that'd be my lock.
I do too.
You ready for this?
Wait. Let me see if I can feel it out in the universe. TCU.
No.
No. Who was
it? Who's the team that you were very high on at the start of this year? You rode them quite a bit.
The Golden Knights. Army.
Well, they get a nice little visitor this week in the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. And the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest are only a 3.5-point favorite in this game.
I like saluting our veterans. I like this.
Give me the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest.
I don't like how it went.
Minus 3.5. Wake Forest has been a really good football team. They've kind of let us down a couple times, but Army has let us down a couple times too.
Yep.
I just
not on the battlefield though. Shout out, boys.
Yeah. I don't see any way Army can really. I mean, like I said, Army's a good football team, but Wake Forest has been very good this year in the ACC. Now, then again, we don't really. It's kind of hard to gauge.
They haven't played anybody.
Yeah, the level of competition.
Has not played anybody.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge the level of competition here. But on paper, if you're looking at Wake Forest and the way they've been playing, Wake Forest should go in there and they should cover this pretty easily. It's going to be a low-scoring game, I feel like. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. And it might not even be decided by a touchdown, but I think they cover 3.5. It's gonna be one of those to the end, and
that's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I really do like Wake Forest minus 3.5, and you know what I just said about it not even coming down to touchdown, I could just blow out of the water, and Wake Forest could just win this game outright, big time. So it's one of those. I'm willing to die on the hill of a Demon Deacon this weekend.
Right, I've died on a lot of hills this year, so that's okay. My last one, Don't know how they're not favored. It's one of those games again. We're really going to kill the bookies. Oregon money line versus UCLA.
I don't like it.
I don't care that
I
I
don't
don't care that they're in LA. Since when has it ever been hard to play at UCLA?
like it.
Never.
I would like to throw back to earlier this year whenever LSU went out there and got their asses royally handed to
Okay,
them.
but in hindsight,
In hindsight,
I'm not
LSU
saying
is
that.
not a bad football team. LSU just beat
Not a bad
Florida.
football team, but I said environment. That wasn't a crazy environment that night.
I mean, it's not a crazy environment, but I mean, you're still on the road in LA. I mean, and given
Listen, here's my math.
okay,
Oregon's same time zone,
yes,
flying down, gonna have plenty of rest. Nothing's really gonna be going crazy. I think it's a 3:30 game. They're gonna be primed already. Give me the Ducks. They're trying to prove they're worth something again. Give me the Ducks.
I mean, I don't see how they're not favored in this game, but I definitely see how UCLA could easily win this game with it being at home. So,
You lose to Fresno State
oh yeah,
as UCLA. Fresno State's a good team, but as UCLA, I'm not betting for you. Sorry.
I mean, it's kind of tough because we've seen UCLA and what they can do, and we've seen UCLA and what they and we've seen them at their
Can't
best,
do.
and we've seen them at their worst.
Right.
We've seen
right.
Oregon at their best, and we've seen Oregon at their worst. So it's honestly just a shitstorm of who's gonna show up and who's not gonna show up. And I feel like this is half of college football. Not even half. I feel like this is college football this year. Is trying to figure out who the hell's gonna show up.
That's
We
true.
don't know,
It's
dude.
very true.
This has been
It's
the
very true.
hardest year of gambling in college football I think I've ever had in my life. Typically, you can just go out and look at a card week by week and say, "Oh, well, this."
This team's gonna win. This
Yeah.
team's gonna win. It's like, will they show up this week? I don't
Well,
know.
and
It's fair.
yeah,
It's very fair.
NFL.
So, let's kick it over to the NFL. Let's go ahead and recap our picks from last week.
Mm.
I had Chargers money line. Absolute embarrassment. I've never seen a team that has been that hot look that bad that fast. That's on me, boys. Green Bay minus 4.5, easy money. Cleveland minus 2.5, injuries. I'll chalk it up to that. Making excuses for myself. Cowboys minus 4, miracle cover. I love it. Thank you, CeeDee Lamb. Bengals versus Lions under 47.5. I told you this screams like no points game. Easy. And then you had Tampa minus 7, which we already talked about.
Yeah. So
Just fun.
This week, man, we're gonna start it off strong. Mac Jones and the Patriots are at home against the Jets.
Oh my
And
God.
they're a
Same
7-point
pick.
favorite.
Pats minus 7.
Give me Pats minus 7, man.
Losing in a heartbreaker like that last week?
Yeah. Dude,
Give
me
me.
Pats minus 7, man. Well, hell, since that's both of
Eat
ours.
it up.
I think let's go pick for pick, baby. You ready? You ready?
Well, it might be out of order, but
The Denver Broncos are traveling to Cleveland. Baker Mayfield's questionable in this game. Baker Mayfield is questionable in this game. Not throwing shoulder, a little banged up in the last game. Cleveland's only a 3.5-point favorite, but they're in the dog pound. Cleveland finds a way to win this game, even if Baker doesn't play. I feel like because
I was looking at that.
Denver's just
Broncos. I'm sorry, Elkins. I know you're listening, buddy, but Denver's fraudulent. I told you that at the beginning of the season. They're a 3-0 fraudulent team.
So I like Cleveland minus 3.5 in that one.
Good pick.
And especially if Baker plays, then yeah, Cleveland minus 3.5.
Right. So my next pick, this team is in turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's burning down around them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't breathe. There's smoke everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can't breathe. Help me.
Mm-hmm.
Help me. Spider-Man, help me.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Eagles +3 against the Raiders.
So we're going to butt heads there.
The walls come tumbling down. Eagles, last time I picked them, I think it was +4 against the Panthers. They helped the boy out. I'm taking the Eagles again. Turmoil catches up with the Raiders.
I would like that if we weren't in Las Vegas. I mean, Derek Carr, Derek Carr's got that little something about him that it's kind of like he's kind of like college football this year. You don't know if he's going to show up or not. And if he shows up, the Eagles are screwed. But if he doesn't,
that's true.
The Eagles will win. But
I'm betting on him not showing up.
I'm betting on him showing up. I like the Raiders -3 in this game. Yeah, so we'll butt heads there.
That's fine. You know what that means? We can't have another sweep this week.
Yeah, that is what that means. But hey,
it's fine.
you win, you lose.
My next one is Colts versus 49ers.
Okay.
Under 44.5. Like I said, this one just screams no points. If Trey Lance, hell, if even Garoppolo plays, this game screams low scoring game. Colts are a snooze fest to watch. I don't know if you guys have watched TV. Besides that Baltimore game, I could fall asleep every time I watch them. They're so boring. Same with the 49ers. Absolutely nothing on the offensive side of the ball. Nothing. Under 44.5, minus 115 on FanDuel. I love it.
So my next pick, let's take a trip down south where you can get some Colombian Bam Bam. Let's go to Miami, baby. And let's take the Falcons.
Mr. 305.
Let's take the Falcons that are a 2.5-point favorite in this game against a reeling Dolphins team with a Tua Tagovailoa that, quite frankly, if they hold on to Tua, they're screwed. If they let Tua go, they're screwed.
I love how everyone was like, Tua has so much potential, man, after last week. Look at Tua. It's like, hello. Do you guys know who you played? Do they know who they played? Somebody going to tell them who they played?
I don't think so. I think it's better if we don't tell them who they played. Just let them have this little false sense of hope and let Vegas have this. I mean, the Falcons are not good by any stretch of the imagination.
But they're better than the Dolphins.
They're better than the Dolphins, 100%. So I'm taking the Falcons minus 2.5 in this game. They win it by a field goal. I feel like that's easy. Yeah. So
I like it. Arthur Smith going to keep that beard growing. My next one's a little bit of math involved, Mal. Okay. Not really. Pattern recognition. Okay. Standing on a quarter, Jameis Winston down in NOLA. Such a fine sight to see. No. No way, Jose. Let me tell you the pattern of the Saints these past few weeks. Win, loss, win, loss, win. What comes next? They're going to get whopped in Seattle by Geno Smith. Give me Seahawks money line plus 190. It's just they're due for another loss. It's win, loss, win, then another loss.
So they're going to be so we're on a little break.
Saints are the most roller coaster team there is.
We're on a little Braves
good
type
win,
beat.
Bad loss. Good win, bad loss.
We're on a Braves type beat right now. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss.
Yeah, that type deal.
That type beat. Okay.
That type of flow, bro.
Type of flow. Well, I got one more pick in the NFL. And
I got one more too.
We're gonna go. Okay. So let's just preface this.
Wait, look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. Do we have the same pick? Is this my lock? It might be my lock. Oh, man.
If your lock involves.
Say it.
Mills.
Say it.
Mafia.
No, it does not involve Bills Mafia.
So we're going to Arizona, and the Houston Texans are a 17-point dog in this game. Right? Dude. I don't care. It is so hard to cover 17 points in the NFL. And the Cardinals, let's be honest here, they are a hell of a team, yes. But the Texans and Mills Mafia, they're getting 17 points. They're starting off 17 to nothing. They're starting to figure it out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Give me the Arizona Cardinals minus 17.
The fake out. The fake out. Oh, my God.
If this is figuring it out for the Texans, then God, I do not want to know what has it figured out looks like, because
that's an electric pick.
But dude,
I love how you're just faking people out there. You're just crossing them up. Speaking of cross them up, start of the NBA season. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I wish I cared. Maybe when football season's over, I'll get into it a little bit. But
speaking of, I had a risk-free bet. Let me go look and see how that's going. I don't know anything about the NBA. I'm gonna tell you my bet, Mo. DraftKings. Since it started in Connecticut today, I got a risk-free $25 same-game parlay, and I lost. I had Nets money line under 230 and Blake Griffin to get a block. Let me see if any of those things happened. The under hit.
Wait,
Blake Griffin had no blocks, so I was 1-2 on that.
I wonder if there was a prop bet on how many free throw shots Steph Curry would take, because I would have hammered the ever living hell out of the under because of the new rule change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, the new rule change they implemented?
No,
So,
no,
you know
I
how
don't keep
Steph
up with
Curry
baseball.
you would see
Oh, like they pump fake and
yeah,
then lean
and
into
then
it. You
lean
can't
into
do
you
that
can't do that
anymore.
anymore. That's not a foul. Thank
Electric.
God. It's gonna make basketball way more enjoyable to watch, and I'll probably watch a little bit of
Yeah.
basketball this year. And part of the reason why I think they implemented this rule is over the summer, whenever they were playing basketball overseas, they were getting destroyed. And guess what? Those fouls were not getting called. So I legitimately think the NBA changed its rules for global competition to help out with us.
Like it.
So
I
yeah,
like it.
I do like the rule change. Make it a little bit easier to watch. You can't just
Hey, Nashville beat LA.
hey,
Let's
let's
go.
go.
2-1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like that.
All right.
Now it's time for my lock of the
Let's
week.
hear it.
I got 3 words to say, Mal. It's as simple as this. I feel like The Rock holding this mic. Can you smell?
The
Look at that.
smell.
That's what I feel like. Sorry, that's not the words I was going to say. Here they are. You ready? All hail the king. Wait. 4 words. All hail the king. That's all I got to say. Absolutely all I got to say. Give me the Titans plus 5.5 against a god awful Chiefs team in Nashville, coming off the most populated game ever in Nissan Stadium. Ever. Titans are coming off a big win. I know their secondary is slim to none. Doesn't matter. Give me King Henry, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Titans win this game, but I'm taking the
I
points at
was
plus 5.5.
I was this close to taking that
To
too.
disconnecting.
I was this close to taking that. Okay. I am terrified of a letdown week.
Yeah, this would be the team to do it.
Exactly.
But like I said, I didn't pick my lock. Siri picked it, so it's not on me
Yeah,
this week.
it's not on you. So I mean, I don't hate the pick. The Chiefs have not looked that good this year, but the Chiefs are kind of like Alabama or Patrick Mahomes. Let me rephrase this. Patrick Mahomes is kind of like Alabama. He's a good quarterback, and I know we went on this little rant last week, but
Wait a
okay,
minute. Pause.
look. I saw
Pause.
look.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
Look
Pause.
here's
We got to talk about his brother. We got to talk about his
look.
brother. Dance on the Sean Taylor thing. We have
Okay,
to talk
okay.
about
No,
it.
in Jackson Mahomes' defense, I hate having to defend Jackson Mahomes, but that was a
I
roped off
can't. I
area.
can't believe you're
That
doing
was
this.
a roped off area where they placed him. They placed him in that roped off area. He did not jump anything. That is, I did some digging when I saw that because I was pissed. But it turns out Washington actually placed him in that roped off area to watch the game. So, if anything, be pissed off at Washington, not Jackson Mahomes, because he's going to dance.
Okay.
We hate that. We hate the fact that he's a TikToker. We think it's stupid. He just needs to watch football. Stop using your brother for clout. Whatever you want to say, but
Also, is he attached to Mahomes' wife at the hip? I don't think I ever seen them not together. Ever. Ever. It's weird. It's really weird.
yeah.
It's a weird relationship. But
no. So the only reason I'm saying I saw this video on Twitter, man. Did you? I'm sure you saw it from the upper level
I've
angle
seen.
of Mahomes running out to his left, looking downfield, and just
Oh, the bad throw.
no, just slinging
Yeah.
it across his body.
Uh,
Have you not seen this video?
I saw one of Stafford doing a no look pass this week. It
Dude,
was sick.
no, it was like from the upper level. It was absolutely like it was a phenomenal throw. And it made me realize maybe we were a little premature last week on the Mahomes hate. Um, he's good. He's so good.
He is good. He is a good quarterback. But
And
like I said, I think he handicapped his team. But
yeah, I mean but
jumping back to the Jackson Mahomes thing real quick, I saw so many TikToks and Twitter videos of big scary men saying they were going to murder him, which is kind of nuts.
okay. So I got this video pulled up right here, Dylan. You ready?
Okay. All right. No copyright. Oh yes, where he's just running. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen this.
I mean that's
Crossbody. Yeah.
across your body.
Yeah.
I mean that's
It is incredible. It is. It's a good play. What else do you say? I mean, it's a good play.
I mean he's good. He's good. Kid's good.
He is very good. He's very good.
He is.
Well,
Well,
I think that wraps up episode 10. Any closing remarks?
Braves are fine, guys. Don't fret. Don't worry. Because and here's a little thing too. I'm gonna leave this in my closing remarks. Before we get on and we jump and we want to cuss out Luke Jackson, whatever you guys want to do, I just want y'all to think: how would your lives be affected tomorrow if the Braves were to have won today? Would anything in your life change?
No.
No. So let's just sit back and enjoy this great game of baseball that we have, and let fate happen. If it is meant to be for the Braves to win a World Series, I'll be there cheering just as hard as anybody else. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll be in Boston if we're playing Boston for Game 6, and I'll be cheering on the Braves as hard as anybody else because I damn love this team with all my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, then you know what? We can look back this year and say this was a hell of a year. So let's just sit back, let's relax, let's watch this team that we love play some baseball, and let's see what happens.
Let's do it. My closing remarks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you
follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter.
One last closing remark.
And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Can I have one last closing remark? If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get a free month subscription to our OnlyFans account.
Yep. I'm showing ass.
Dylan,
subscribe.
Showing ass. Just saying.
I'm showing ass, boys.
Like
I got the
naked.
What are the girls? What are the Instagram? I got the butt rub that takes all the hairs off my ass.
Yeah.
And like makes my skin look good. I got that.
So the naked.
I know you're gonna want to see it.
The Naked podcast actually shows all on the OnlyFans. Just saying.
What do they call it? A Patreon?
Patreon. Yeah, I guess subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah, we don't actually have one, but no, it'd be nice if you guys subscribe.
Hey.
The boys are grinding these out for you.
And then if we get big enough, whenever we're both living in the same city, we might have to start a little Patreon account where we do some behind the scenes stuff.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. You can take my ass pictures any day, Mal. You know that?
Oh, dude, I will 100%.
Got to frame me up right though, dog.
Oh, bro. I will get in there. I'll edit this, bro. I'll make you look like Kim.
Give me that Kim
K.
K.
You look like Kim K.
Give me
bro.
that Kim K ass.
I'll make you look like Kim K, dog. Don't worry. And on that note,
thanks. On that note, we're gonna end it. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Peace out,
Adios,
hombres.
amigos.